Good morning and welcome to Ride and Shine Cruising Mornings at Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, a Greenway store right here in Anniston, Alabama. We are so excited to start our morning with you, and we have two very special guests, and actually three very special guests in the house this morning. So we have Chef Dave, who is cooking us up something amazing, and Susan Shipman.
Yes.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, and it's great to be here with you. It's kind of early for me, but yeah.
It's kind of early
Right.
for all of us. No,
it
John's
is.
not.
It is.
We don't have an extra mic for John.
That's okay, I'll talk
But
loudly.
if you talk loud, you can pick up on our mic. Come on, join
I'll
us.
sit in the chair
He
here.
came by for the food.
I did, I came by
He's
for
a
the food.
smart man.
And because Chef Dave and Susan Shipman are my favorite people.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
mine, though.
That's yours?
Yes, you back off.
Tell us
All right.
about this beautiful creation that is calling my name.
Yeah, it's cheesecake with a chocolate and raspberry swirl, and I just stumbled across this recipe. I had these 4 bricks of cream cheese that were room temperature, and I'm like, okay, where's the recipe? I don't know. And so I found one, and it's like the best cheesecake ever. It's got a pecan crust, and it's delightful.
I'm going to show our
And it's
viewers.
totally appropriate for breakfast because, after all, it has cream cheese in it.
It
There's
does.
protein, there's eggs. We're good to go on that. There's
Yeah.
my justification.
How about that?
How about that?
It looks absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I can't wait to dive into it. So you are also a chef, or you're a baker? Or?
I'm more of a baker. Dave says that baking is science and chefing is art, and I'm good with that. You know,
Okay.
there's a lot of math in baking, and if you follow the recipe and put the ingredients in that it tells you to in the right amount, and it's going to turn out properly every time. And so I like that a lot.
And it's very
been baking
beautiful.
for a great amount of time. I enjoy it. It's a good release.
Well, so tell us about what you have here. Do you have a catering, a baking? Is there a restaurant? How do you?
We started with, actually, before Dave came into the picture, I was doing the farmers market of Jacksonville. I got turned on to that by one of the people that used to work for me, and so I started kind of mid-season of 2022 in June, and brought, we've got a nice garden at the house, and so we had extra vegetables. There's always, Mr. Shipman thinks we need to plant 149 tomato plants, you know, and so there's going to be extra vegetables, and so you know, went to the market, and I've been baking forever, and I brought baked items as well, and so just kind of turned into a thing. And then last year Dave came back to Jacksonville, and he said, let's take this up a notch and do some catering to go with that, and so that's where we are. And there's not a storefront yet, but we're having a great time, and you know, we love what we do.
And now Chef Dave is your brother.
He is
don't know
my
if I mentioned
younger
that.
brother. He doesn't really like to be little brother.
Yeah.
He's not little.
He is not little, but he is still
he
my
is
little
younger.
brother.
They
He is
got a
younger.
laugh out of
Younger.
him.
Larger by the day.
Younger,
Yes.
yes, indeed.
So what is this? Is this the catering menu that you
This
have here,
is the
Susan?
the current catering menu, yes, and it's got our contact information on it. We finally managed to launch our Facebook page yesterday, and the website went live, and so there's nothing really on it yet that tells you about the menu, but we're getting there, and we found ourselves so busy with the doing of that we forgot the marketing piece, and so we're all on now. We're good. We're ready to move forward with that.
Ready to start catering.
Yes,
And so it's
and we-
called Oven Odyssey?
Oven Odyssey, yes, and it's all about the journey. You know, I like to try new things. Dave likes to try new things, and so we haven't had a whole lot of flops along the way, and we tried them at home before, you know, we put them out in the public, and so it is about the journey. It's about the fun that we have in the farm to table method of serving, and he and I both have a whole lot of restaurant experience. Dave's been in the restaurant business for 30 years, and
Oh, wow.
and that's why I'm not a morning person, because when you work at a restaurant, I didn't have to be there until 10 a.m., and that's how my body clock is set, and that's my story.
Well, we appreciate you for getting up early this morning to be
Yeah.
here with us. And
That's not what you used to do, though.
What I
You were
used to
director
do,
of
I
Second
was.
Chance. You had to get up early and stay up late.
It's relative. The early thing is relative, and staying up late was certainly a lot easier because once you do get started and are properly caffeinated, then it's it's on.
good thing we have some Joe Bell coffee around here somewhere. See, you brought your coffee.
I brought my coffee because the last 2 times I've been on the show, there was no Joe Bell coffee here
Uh-oh.
because of Kip.
Just wrong.
I
And I
can't believe
told-
Kip isn't here this morning
You know,
yet.
I told Kip on Monday night on Shop 24 when he was answering the phones, I told him, I said, Kip, I've been on the morning show twice. They tell me you bring great coffee and great donuts. Neither have been there. And so, Kip,
You're on the
Good
list. Kip.
morning.
Hey, Kip.
How was the show? How was your Shop 24? Let's make sure you can be heard. Yeah.
our Shop 24 show was great. We had probably the biggest viewership that we had. Every week it's going up and up, and that's Lacey. People tune in to watch Lacey. She's a riot. So, yeah, that viewership has been going up every week, and I'm really happy about that.
Good. Selling a lot of coupons.
Selling a lot of coupons, yes.
I love that show. I love a good deal.
Absolutely.
And that's a show you can get a great deal on.
Yes, and then we have our other show tonight, which you were on. Yes.
Yeah, I heard about those
Second
Brussels
show.
Second
sprouts.
episode ever.
The Parmesan Brussels sprouts were a huge hit for people who don't like Brussels sprouts. So you put enough Parmesan cheese on something and it's completely edible.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I
Yes.
love Brussels sprouts though. They can
Okay.
be anyway. My stomach is rumbling. I'm so happy.
So
that
what's
there's
Chef
food.
Dave making over there?
Let's check in with him.
Good morning. So today we're making creamy chicken piccata fettuccine.
Chicken piccata fettuccine.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Twist on the old recipe. We are adding pasta and we're adding cream to make it kind of a one-pot dish, or in this case, a two-pot dish. And we're excited to show you what we've got going on, and we're going to
He's
step
got
through it all in the next segment. I'm not a TV person, guys. And,
the knife.
we're excited to be here. So we've got fresh breast of chicken. We're going to cut into medallions. We've got some pasta going. We're going to do a little asparagus on the side. We'll step you through all of it, and at the end, we'll put the recipe up on our Facebook page and our website so that you can try it at home.
That's great.
So we're gonna
Yes.
get to learn how
He's
to
like
make it.
he's like the galloping gourmet.
Except there's not that. And now a little sip of wine. Didn't the
And there's
galloping
not much
gourmet-
galloping
He
going
loved
on.
Kind of
it.
got toddled. Not much galloping. Exactly.
Graham Kerr. Was it Graham
yeah,
Kerr?
it was.
It's Graham Kerr. I love
I'm gonna
that
take a
show.
little
was
sip of
excellent.
wine while he's cooking.
Oh my gosh,
Some in the
you're
pot
probably
and
too
some in
young
the
to have
glass.
watched that show, The Galloping
Yes.
Gourmet. It was awesome. It was great television. He would always get somebody out of the audience and sit down at this long table, and he would let them taste his food first.
Food, yes.
And it was funny because I guess it was always good, right?
Yeah, well, you know,
It would have
you
to
better
be.
pretend it's good.
Pretend
if
it's good. You're
not.
like, you're
That's
not
your
in the
last
audience
shot on
anymore.
national television, yes.
So,
Fun.
business been good, right?
It has been. We did a party for the Central Alabama Mensas on Saturday and served Chef Dave's beautiful lasagna. He makes the best lasagna on the planet. And we had Caesar salads, and then we had a 4-layer devil's food and red velvet torte with buttercream frosting, and it was amazing. And so it all went really well. My helper actually had COVID, and so my husband stepped in as the server for his first time in life ever doing
Nice.
that, and it turned out really well. We didn't spill anything, and nobody got hurt. So,
So you would hire
success.
him again?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So that was for the Mensa people?
Uh-huh.
So that was an Einstein lasagna.
Indeed, it was.
Okay.
But yeah.
Or an
They,
Oppenheimer salad, right?
yes.
Open.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
You should do that again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It worked out really well, actually. And
Really?
Italian green beans. I left out the Italian
Oh, I
green beans.
love green beans.
And we had some vegetarians and pescatarians in the crowd. So we did, Dave did a portobello mushroom and zucchini lasagna for them, and it was fabulous. And so it was a good night.
My tummy is growling over here
Are you
really.
hungry?
Like, yes.
Time to
And
break
hearing
out the
about some of my
Oh,
favorite
the cheesecake.
foods. Well, it's about that time to check in with our Lacey clients with yes, Lacey, with our local area weather, and take a quick break, and we'll be right back. You're watching Ride and Shine Cruising Mornings at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Good morning, everyone. Today is going to be a beautiful day with a high of 70 degrees and no chance of rain. But tomorrow, it's still going to be fairly warm. It's getting up to 68 degrees, but we'll have a 70% chance of rain. And then Friday, we'll get up to 65 degrees with a 30% chance of rain. So everyone enjoy today and be sure to have your umbrellas for the next couple of days. I'm Lacey Clontz with your TV24 weather.
Thank you for coming to Greenway. At Greenway Chrysler, we have all the vehicles that you want. We are here part of your family, and we want to make sure that you give us that opportunity under the new management that we have. Yo quisiera que ustedes sepan que aquí en Greenway estamos nosotros dispuestos a hacerlos a ustedes, nuestra familia. Avísenos cuando estén listos y vengan a vernos con todos los vehículos y las necesidades que tengan.
Come visit us today.
I'm Shirley Millwood, and I'm running to be Calhoun County's next Republican probate judge. As a Christian, conservative mother, protecting Calhoun County values matters to me. As the only attorney in this race with more than a decade of experience practicing law in probate court, I am the only candidate with the experience to serve from day one. When you're a judge making decisions that impact people's lives, that experience matters. I'm Shirley Millwood, and I'm asking for your vote on March 5th.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
Thank you for coming to Greenway. At Greenway Chrysler, we have all the vehicles that you want. We are here part of your family, and we want to make sure that you give us that opportunity under the new management that we have. Yo quisiera que ustedes sepan que aquí en Greenway estamos nosotros dispuestos a hacerlos a ustedes, nuestra familia. Avísenos cuando estén listos y vengan a vernos con todos los vehículos y las necesidades que tengan.
Come visit us today.
I'm Lacey Clontz with your WEAC TV24 and the Mountain 95 Second News Update. Alabama's primary election date on March 5th is approaching quickly. There are a few local races taking place for Calhoun County, including probate judge, Board of Education, and United States Representative for the 3rd Congressional District. Along with the local races is a proposed statewide amendment number 1 that asks for a yes or no vote. The verbiage on the ballot states, in quote, proposing an amendment to the Constitution of Alabama 2022 to amend Section 71.01, authorizing the legislature to sign and transmit local laws or constitutional amendments before the transmission of basic appropriations, end quote. On Monday, State Representative Chip Brown filed legislation in the Alabama House that would require written consent from parents or guardians before a minor could receive a vaccination. Currently, Alabama law allows for minors over 14 or high school graduates the ability to give legal consent to any authorized medical, dental, or mental health treatment without the permission of a parent or guardian. The bill filed by Representative Brown would raise the age of informed consent to 19 for vaccinations. And the Northeast Regionals continue at the peak. Some area teams have made it to the finals, while the Spring Garden ladies have already punched their ticket to Birmingham. The Anniston Lady Bulldogs will take on the Cherokee County Lady Warriors Thursday for the Class 4A Northeast Region Championship. The Southside Lady Panthers play the Scottsboro Lady Wildcats in the Class 5A Region Championship today, and the Piedmont Bulldogs boys will take on the Plainview Bears Thursday in a Class 3A Northeast Regional matchup. Tune in to WEAC TV 24 tonight for more local news at 5. For WEAC TV 24 and the Mountain 95.1, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Thank you, Lacey, and welcome back. You're watching Ride and Shine, Cruising Mornings at Greenway, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We are coming to you live as we do every weekday morning. We are joined this morning by Susan Shipman and Chef Dave Sloan with Oven Odyssey. And Chef Dave is whipping us something that looks absolutely delicious. The smell is filling the showroom this morning. It is absolutely amazing. So Oven Odyssey. Susan, I love that you're the bakeologist. That is a wonderful way to put it.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, thank you.
And you, right here, it says, whether you're feeding the office, packing the tailgate for the big game, planning a dinner party or reception, or just need to satisfy your sweet tooth, we've got you covered. And it looks like you sure do.
We have a varied menu for certain, and the one that is printed is just the beginning. You know, you can't put everything on a piece of paper that is available. We pretty much do whatever the consumer wants because we can figure it out. And I had a couple of weeks ago, a lady that I sell eggs to needed some gluten-free items for her daughter's birthday, and I was like, okay, I can do that. And so I found a couple of really great recipes, a brownie recipe and then a chocolate cake recipe, and they both turned out super nice, and she was very pleased. And you know, sometimes when you try to do gluten-free, you might not know, but it's kind of grainy or the texture's not right, and so I have found some super good recipes that turn out not grainy and quite delicious. And so, yeah, we can do pretty much what anybody needs.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are going gluten-free, and you're right, anything that I've ever really tried gluten-free, it does have that gritty, grainy texture to it.
Yes, a little tapioca starch is helpful in that, and some xanthan.
Some who?
Gum, xanthan gum.
Xanthan gum?
Mm-hmm. I've heard of that. XANTHIUM.
Close, yes.
My
yes.
spelling bee.
I'm impressed.
That was well done.
Xanthan gum.
Yes.
My goodness. So, you know, we were talking off air here about Chef Dave's equipment.
Okay.
And this is fabulous stuff because if you don't want to grill in your backyard, maybe you, like me, you don't use it very often, or you have a boat that doesn't have a stove on it.
Yeah, lots of boats don't have stoves.
Lots don't, and you can get these two things. These are Oven Odyssey specials. What are these?
Yeah, these are Chef Master butane countertop stoves actually, and you can purchase those through Oven Odyssey for $75, and it comes with a little tank of butane fuel. You can get additional butane fuel. It comes in a case of 12, and so John asked me how long did it last, and I told him we're going to find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we're
you know,
find out today.
I noticed Chef Dave when he was looking at the pan on the right there. He was testing the heat with his gloved hand. I saw him do that. I'm like, wait a minute. First off, he's wearing a rubber glove, so if it's too hot, the rubber's going to stick to the pan.
And then you know it's too hot.
And then it's too hot. And second off, he's going to burn himself.
I would think that would be the first off,
So,
burning
Well, he's
yourself.
wearing a glove. Yeah. I'm like, okay, how does a chef know if a pan's too hot? If he burns his fingers. Really? Is that what you do?
That's an excellent question, and I have an answer for you. So, is the pan too hot? We want to preheat our pan so our food doesn't stick. So it's very important to preheat it, but we don't want to get it too hot. And what we're doing today is we're sauteing lightly dredged floured chicken medallions. So we don't want it to stick, and we don't want our oil and butter to burn. So we want a buttery flavor But we're going to blend that with a little olive oil because olive oil has a higher smoke point than butter does. In other words, we'll have burnt butter if all I put in there is butter. So how hot is the pan? A little water out of the boiling pot.
So what are you
Put it
looking
in there.
for?
The water beads up like when you put Rain-X on your windshield, right? So that's what I'm looking for. If it immediately turns to steam, it's too hot. If it rolls around the pan, it's not hot enough. But if it beads, then it's ready.
So that's how you can tell.
Wow.
The hot pan hack.
The hot pan hack.
Yes.
Well done.
Is there are there different levels of heat like you would like on a stovetop? Like are you on medium high?
Absolutely. So I'm going
Okay.
to get the pan hot, and then I'm probably going to turn it down a little bit when I get ready to cook. And when I put cold proteins in that pan, the temperature of the pan is going to drop anyway. So it's finding that balance, and that's that art part. Just get it just right. But the water test is a great trick to kind of get a feel for, am I there yet, right? So if we're going to do olive oil and butter just to saute this chicken in, I want to put the olive oil in the pan first, because if I put the butter in the pan first, it's going to burn. So we'll start with the olive oil. But first, I've already boiled some fettuccine. I season my water with salt. I typically don't put any oil in my water because I don't want to add oil to the dish. So the salt adds flavor to the pasta. The pasta water we're going to retain and use when we blanch our asparagus to go on the side here. So our next step is we're going to, on live TV, see if we don't set fire to this. Maybe a tablespoon of olive oil, a couple of pats of butter.
Hey Dave, do you let it cook enough to cook off the whey that's in the butter, that liquid that's not butter?
And then you end up with ghee or ghee. So as you can see, the butter's going to brown a little bit there. And then I've already dredged the chicken.
When you say you've dredged the chicken,
Dredged it in flour. So
does
it's
that
not
mean?
battered. It's just a chicken medallion. In this case, we took a pretty fat chicken breast. And instead of cutting it that way so that it's with the grain, we cut it against the grain so it's medallions. That way I don't have to pound the chicken. And this dish is a variation of chicken piccata or veal piccata.
We worked together in Birmingham at Rossi's downtown, and they did a piccata dish that was just delicious. So very nice. So the dredging is like you're not putting a whole lot on there, but it's enough to give it just a little bit of glaze sort of on the chicken, and then it's also going to give you a base for the sauce that you're going to make.
It helps it brown a little bit too.
So you're turning up the heat right now?
I turn it up just a little bit because again, that cold chicken dropped the heat of the pan. If I don't, it's going to either stick or it's going to get kind of greasy, and we don't want that. So we want a nice crisp brown outside.
So it's interesting. So dredging is a nautical term when you dredge a channel to make it deeper. So I watched him through the mass of cameras here that it looked like he just kind of pulled it across the...
Yeah, but the method, John, is the same. You would dredge a creek, or you would dredge the chicken through the flour. That's kind of how it works.
it's
So I'm
the
not
same thing.
packing it on there or making a big crust. I don't want fried chicken.
Gotcha.
Right.
Doesn't take long. It's going to start browning up nice. Once we get the chicken done, we're going to pull it out and start our sauce.
Is it good to let chicken rest? I hear people talk about that, like letting chicken rest. Is that a thing?
All meat you want to let rest for a moment when you pull it off. The heat, it's going to continue cooking. These medallions, not as much because they're very thin and it's a pretty quick cook.
Yeah, I see that
Piccata
on recipes sometimes.
comes from
meat rest.
an Italian word meaning to lard, which refers to, again, lightly breading it and then cooking it in fat. And it also stems from a French cooking term called piqué, piquois, if I'm saying it right.
Piquois.
P-I-C-U-E or P-I-Q-U-E, which means sharp. So the lemon juice is the sharpness in the dish that's going to bring that out. So otherwise you got chicken Alfredo basically. This is a no cheese dish. And you can make it without the cream, or you could make just the sauce and the meat on the side and do something different than the pasta. A lot of different things you can do with this. And you can do with the chicken, you can do with veal, pork. I like pork tenderloin a lot.
Me too. I don't know that there's a food I don't like.
I'm kind of hesitant with rutabagas,
Right.
but everything else is
I don't guess I
fair
know
game.
that. I don't know if I
And
know
this
that.
is actually
Yeah, so it's root plant.
chicken piccata, veal piccata, is an American Italian dish. The sauce kind of originated in Sicily, but 1930s immigrants started cooking this in restaurants, and people loved it. The protein was very expensive at the time in Italy, so they would make it with eggplant or something like that. But over here in America, it was pretty cheap. So we pulled our chicken off. The pan's still hot. I got some crumbly stuff in there. We're going to add a little chicken broth to deglaze the pan. You can also do this with wine, or wine and chicken broth.
What kind of wine would you use?
Any white wine is good. It's not something I'd spend a lot of money on. We're going to add lemon juice. Going to kick our heat up a little bit. Lemon juice is going to give it the tart flavor we're looking for.
Lemon juice chicken broth.
And then we're going to use our wooden spoon to grab all the little good chicken crumblies that are in the bottom of the pan.
Is the wooden spoon the best utensil to use?
I like a wooden spoon. Any old spoon will do.
Ooh, I wish the smell could translate through the camera. It
You don't have the
smells so
smell-o-vision
good
turned
in
on
here.
today?
No smell-o-vision.
So we're going to let this reduce just a bit. I'm going to add some fresh minced garlic.
Oh my
I like
goodness.
garlic.
Tip's a big fan of garlic.
Oh yeah,
Big fan.
I like garlic a lot. We're going to add some capers.
I love capers.
Now, the butter I used for this and everything I'm using is unsalted.
Okay.
I want to control the salt in my dish. Capers are really salty anyway. So I don't want to do more than I have to so that I can control that. So that stuff's getting happy. We're doing pasta, so we want a little bit more sauce than we would for a little more.
That's precise. That's the
Exactly.
art form there. That's
Yes,
the art,
yes,
yeah.
I like garlic, I like pepper. If you're going to add salt to a dish, add it at the end. Don't ever add it first. For one, salt sucks the moisture out of what you're cooking.
Oh.
So one thing, you can use salt if you're making a bolognese or a meat sauce to actually draw some of the moisture out of the dish as you're cooking it.
I'm learning all
So
kinds of
Yeah.
that's reduced, that's getting happy. We're going to add a little cream to this. We're going to add a little more cream to this.
No cholesterol in this
Now,
thing.
No, not at all.
It's worth
through the
it.
magic of television, everything bad for you is
That's
taken out of
correct.
the dish.
Yes, reduced calorie.
Now, if you're controlling the salt, what about the chicken broth? Is it?
Exactly. There's salt in the chicken broth too. You can use a low-fat chicken broth. I like to make my own chicken stock.
Okay.
Beef stock, seafood stock. Seafood stock is great. Save the shells when you do a shrimp dish. When you peel them, put them in the freezer bag. Later on, just boil it down. Veggie stock is great. You can save all the scraps from your veggies. Put them in a Ziploc bag in the fridge. When you're ready, throw them in a pot with some water. Let it rock. All right, cream's bubbling. It's starting to reduce.
It smells so good.
Yeah, we're on our way. Coming over.
We're going to see if we can add the fettuccine without making a huge mess.
Oh.
Our friends in the studio are experiencing a little bit of jealousy at the moment that they're not
good.
here.
Yes.
Sorry, Eric.
Sorry, Eric.
They'll have to eat with their eyes.
Yep. He got to eat last time.
He did get to eat last time.
I know,
yeah.
I heard about it. He definitely.
Everybody. We had plenty for everybody.
So
I
we've
should've
added the
stopped in with
fettuccine.
You should have.
We're going to spin that around a little bit, let that get some sauce on there.
Back
We're
in
going to put the
bowl.
chicken back in on one side of the pan so it can soak up some of that sauce. We're going to hit this with a little fresh parsley,
Watching them do garlic.
a little more fresh parsley. Give it a flip. Now I like this sauce a little bit thicker than this, so I'm going to just kind of flour it some, not a lot.
Oh.
Take my tongs, work that in, move that around.
So I noticed when I make pasta, and I'm not anywhere, I cook stuff. When I make pasta, I boil it and then I put it in a, and drain the water out. I dump the pasta in a strainer and drain the water out. But I noticed you didn't do that because you're saving the stuff.
There's that, and you also don't see a sink behind me.
Right.
But yeah, I like to save that water, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it.
And
We're going to blanch our asparagus in the pasta water, give it a little extra flavor. So,
Would you normally drain your pasta if you did have a sink, or would you?
you
normally
could.
just
I like
take
to
it?
save the. Ideally, you've got a pasta basket or something. You can pull it out of that water. 'Cause
Okay.
Any dish that you're going to add water to, I would rather add that pasta water back into it. It's
Okay.
going to have some flavor. It's going to give it a little starch.
That makes sense.
Turn the heat off our dish here.
So if you were making it with a pasta basket, you'd have that